Hello everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another video with me, Calvzone. We're playing some Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We just got to the tavern after getting absolutely obliterated by a lightning bolt. I'm gonna be doing a lot of talking. I feel like this is a lot of talking. I think that's because maybe we bought a collector's edition or something. But pets are very useful in this game. They give you +1 to stats and stuff. So is that worth it on me? I think I'm pretty stupid. Well, actually, I got a 14. It's not that stupid, but yeah, not exactly knowledgeable in the world. So we'll leave that for somebody else.
This way.
It's been a bit. I'll just make a video where I talk instead of talking during this video. Oh, hey. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear to something? Anivia is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So here's the first, most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that. And I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. And if they come at us while we're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push them back hard. If things kick off here, you should know after they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs to be taken care of, you better do it soon. Okay, what else did you want to discuss? So the rift that damned beetle left with his scythe, yeah, well, it cut the city in two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried it, make sure, but if you got mind to cross it, I think you're gonna have to eventually, but you might want to give that a square once over. Thank you for the warning. Watch yourself out there, dude. I'll be honest. Okay, so I need to keep playing, but at the same time I want to yap. I just want to talk. I woke up, I ran, I had some fruit, I drank some water, and now I'm here. So I'm sorry if I'm a little like frazzled. I realized I've been slacking lately. I definitely took the Saturday off. We need to talk to Staunton Van. Oh, actually, hold on. Money first. 1,000 gold for you, just as I promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Our squirm always keeps his words. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, Borges looks at you with an unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest and his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'd pay generously for your service. What do you mean, a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter. Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps? Noble of heart, but without a coin to your name? Orgus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves. So why should I care what you do with the money once you've got it? Oh, perception check. Orgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear a note of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It is though he's quite nervous, but he is really quite nervous by taking great pains to conceal it. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask you to refrain from something. Nah. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard, you see. I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabras. I still have, well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building in the large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the damned demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect the servants have fled when they saw demons. Only Abadar knows what's happening there since, therefore. What's happened there since. Therefore, I would like to ask you to meet me at my mansion and guard me until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Please do take Camilla with you. I trust that girl has more energy than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. Okay, baby. 60% chance I fail. Right? No. Is that right? I don't know, but we're clicking it. Dude, I can't scam this guy with this money. Oh, yeah, right. For that kind of money, I'd hire Queen Galifia herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Deal. Fine. Marvelous. Most excellent. Morgan's face relaxes, smoothing a few tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but please do hurry. Unless you want me to lower your reward. I can't get any higher, bastard. What up, Camilla? Camilla looks at you pensively, toying with a snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems that for a moment that she wants to say something, but her pause grows too long and she slips back into cautious silence. Tell me about yourself. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camilla arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers. Although they don't get all the credit, I'm a most diligent student. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice for you to notice. But I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? You're much more relaxed during combat. The battle cries are uninhibited. She blushes slightly and lowers her eyes, so you've noticed. To be honest, I find it embarrassing. You see, being a shaman means having spirits of battle at my ever-present companions. In the heat of combat, they become rather, vocal. Anyways, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. Please excuse me. She turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Oh, well, okay then. That was, okay. What up, Staunton? The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all is in sight is dead. That is a crazy description for someone, dude. That's insane. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Great Garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumors about me, his face, which looks like it has never known anything other than carefree, has a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arlu Vorlesh, that I'm a disgrace, even among the ranks of the condemned. The Queen Gralfish never spared me, and I belong in the gallows. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know. Staunton gives you a long, Morse look and sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in a fortress at the edge of the world wound, instead of bringing the fight to the demons. We used to have a foothold in the wound at the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell. And all because of my stupidity, I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tired. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I've done. So that's how I live, decades after decades, fighting in the condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I fixed nothing, and I earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit on my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. Oh no, you were giving a chance to live, so live, and stop blaming others for what you've made your life. Dude, well, this is what we're going with, guys. Because we're chaotic neutral. You were given a chance to live, so live, and stop blaming others for what you made of your life. Do you think you're the first to come at me with sermons? The dwarf shrugs indifferently. A whole city fell because of you. How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of the condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Yoren. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're going to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Yoren, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Command Tirablade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier, not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's even had some mud flung in her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold onto her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the condemned, surely you've paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All the years I've prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to the priest. Countless times I've kneeled before his altars. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. but it still seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? That's depressing, dude. I need an elf who calls himself the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The storyteller, Staunton strokes his beard and thought, a strange old fellow that one. He used to sit with me for hours, talking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first, I wanted to ask him a few questions. I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible. But later, I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he's alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him at the Blackwing. It's a library. Here, I'll show you on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there all night and day. I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. Okay. There's another named person over here. Well, I guess we'll talk to Anivia. I'm gonna talk to everybody in the tavern. We talking to everybody in the tavern. Anivia in her muted colors blends in almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums on her fingers and on her hip near her weapon. She shows no sign of injury and confidently leans on her previously broken leg. She pretends to not even notice you, even though she watched you approach from afar. Oh, hey! See how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump, or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious places in the city I should pay attention to? There were a couple of spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have the time. It really is a den of cultists there. It'd be good if you could swoop in and burst some heads. You don't even need to search a warrant. First one is the Silken Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabrics, and they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something there, all right, but sewing it ain't. Second one is an alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions. They trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. Tell me about yourself. She shrugs with a lazy smile. I'd be happy to. There's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting about me? Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like babbling about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nadal. And I wouldn't wish my homeland to my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure. Ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is a cult of Zon Kuthan. I grew up in a slum like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mom's cronies. No prize for guessing what kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while the other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us, creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards of Nisroch. Mom gave me to her friends, and we hid in the secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mom again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down, I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny things, after a while I started liking Desna's teachings. But as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nadal and got as far away from it as I could. Yeah, my first playthrough, I definitely went, shoot, what is it? I forget the mythic class. I turned into a fairy, guys. I turned into a fairy, and it was pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. Quite a ragtag group you got here. From nobles to street thieves. You got that right. Huh, only the best for you. What do you do if knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. How'd you meet Irabeth? I was bumming around Timon a while back, doing this and that. Desnan temples sometimes gave me odd jobs, you know? Sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nadal, the freedom of River Kingdoms should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life, but I wasn't happy. There wasn't any joy in my new life. I was alone, no one cared about me, and I didn't have anybody to care about either. I struggled to find reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Trying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river seemed like started to look pretty appealing. One day I was hired by some fellas who the local authorities suspected were Razmir spies. I was stupid, I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had decided to do what my mind had been fighting. So they finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me and I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hogtied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me back to their stinking cave, threw me on an altar, and I realized who it was. Huthites from Nadal. They'd tracked me down after all those years, but I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all gotta go sometimes, right? So I was laying there staring at those knives pointed at me when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Irabeth. There she was, storming into the cave. Picture it. I'm lying down on an altar with all the knife-wielding maniacs around me, and suddenly Irabeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself, fierce in her shining armor and her gleaming sword raised. She then made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me, and then her face lights up and she chuckles. She looked through the papers they had on the table, and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomade. How did you and Irabeth end up in Canabras? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I never wanted to leave Irabeth's side. Desna knows. I fell for it instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Irabeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest near her home city, well, I offered her my help without a second thought. And Eva smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Canabras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You gotta either be a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. But come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves, so I fit right in. What's it like living with Irabeth? It's like living without her. I wouldn't be. Seriously, if I were alone, I'd definitely be gone now. Sure, sometimes we argue, we can't deny that. Sometimes we bang our fists on a table and yell so loud that the walls shake. But that's all about order business. But at home, well, I'll give you an example. I've kind of always wanted to move out of that broom closet we call a house. A house. Oh my god. And into somewhere cozier. It ain't like they take a vow of poverty at the Eagle Watch, but every month somehow most of our money is spent on crusader business. Sure, I get mad about it, but she makes a helpless gesture. It's part of why I love her so much. You know, Irabeth has this whole thing that matters most for a person, a purpose in life. She's always got a reason for whatever she's doing. Her whole life is a crusade, and I just drifted about like a leaf in the wind until Desnus brought us together. Now she's the meaning of my life. It's literally no difference if we live in a mansion or under a bush. Thank you for your answers. What are your responsibilities? Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. You can always do it all with the letter of the law. Oh, you can't always do it within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it before too long, and starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into people's house at night ain't exactly legal. Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that now, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight, she trails off. Okay, I gotta go. Oh my god, guys, I am stumbling all over my words. Who are you? I believe that her help is already on the way and the queen will not leave us to die. A stout old man with a fuzzy beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Who are you? Vizali Rathimus, rector of the local temple of Avadar. The temple is gone though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the whole city will be lost as well. Who's the boy with you? This one? Kiado the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy and his faith is strong. He serves Aristil though, but there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Avadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have lots of them, sometimes something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed, no supplies, but you'd better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going anywhere there myself. I'm too old, but my powers are needed here. Well, I ain't got a cleric, homie. Should I buy some scrolls of healing? They get really expensive. Lesson magic rod, amulet of protection, bracers of the wizard. +2 just as though we're an armor to +3 in knowledge checks. Okay guys, so I didn't pay attention to the fact that it was 12,000 gold and that I definitely can't afford that. Oh my god, everything's so expensive. I want the alchemy kit and I want this kit. I want to do some crafting this playthrough. No, not all 99. Jesus. This guy has a bunch of good stuff. Like a really blood magic. Daredevil boots. Oh my god. Okay. How do I buy just a couple? I just want I want to buy 10. Bulk selling. Sing on the masterwork. Okay. Nice. We got some money. We're looking pretty good. I need to do some more working around, but
wherever my legs
hello,
carry
Lan.
me.
Lan greets you with a nod. Here for a chat. I've been waiting for you to come and see what strange beast you've taken into your party. I'd like to know more about you. Let me guess. Your first question: can you wear a hat with your one horn? Am I right? You speak common much better than the rest of your tribe. Funnily enough, common isn't all that common underground, Lan says. But your observation is correct. I used to live on the surface with my parents for a while and had a chance to learn a couple things. The language and the fact that every peasant who sees my scaly mug screams demon and runs away. I don't know if you're interested, but my mom wasn't from an underground tribe. She was a smuggler, the kind that used the dungeons of Canalbras to secretly move or store goods. One time, two gangs couldn't agree on how to share a prime cut, got into a fight, and the winner threw the loser down a hole, dead and living alike. My dad went to check on the corpses, check to see if the corpses had anything useful on them, and he found a girl from the surface, barely clinging to life. An incredible feeling sparked between them. Or maybe the girl just liked men with scales and a cat nose. That might be it. One way or another, he got her back on her feet, and he even left his home caves. She left it behind smuggling, and they began an honest life together. That's the delightful story of how old Lan came into this world. The next chapter, however, my family and I never stayed in one place for too long. We lived sometimes on the surface, sometimes underground. We couldn't find a place to call home. Living in the caves was hard on my mom, and my dad's appearance raised too many questions in Mendev. They're at war against the demons, after all. In the end, my parents decided to stop making each other miserable and separated. My father and I returned to our tribe. I think the peasant's screaming demon had something to do with it. Or maybe dad just couldn't stand a life without rat tail soup. I wouldn't rule out that possibility. Did you come with me so you could see the surface again? No, that wasn't it. I just didn't have the patience for certain types of creatures. Demons, I mean. If they want to destroy Canalbras, I'll be on the other side of the people that they're attacking. Seems like a poor response. Okay. We're gonna go with good because thank God there's not a neutral or chaotic option. Lan, you're my companion, and companions should trust each other. I'm counting you to give me good, honest answers, not excuses. I guess you're right. I shouldn't have been so evasive. It's just that some things are hard to talk about. My family, for example. My birth, hell take me, turned out to be a great misfortune for my parents, all because I'm relatively healthy. I'm the best thing that can come from a marriage between a cave-dwelling mongrel and anyone from the surface, a healthy child with the right number of hands and feet, no apparent defects, no missing organs or other problems. They saw hope in me, so risked having more children. They thought it would somehow be all right. A growl edged into Lan's voice. I could have had 4 brothers. The first one was born 2 years after me and died 3 years later. He didn't have a nose, nothing even remotely resembling one. He could only breathe through his mouth. Mom and Dad were afraid to take their eyes off him for fear he'd choke and suffocate on something. But in the end, it was his weak heart that killed him. Then there was another pregnancy, another birth. I pretended I was sleeping, but snuck out of my bedroom and listened under the door. All those hours, it was very strange, but I never heard the newborn screaming. My mom moaning, yes. The priest praying, then I dared open the door and looked inside. The priest stood there, very pale. One of them was holding something, a small object that fit in his palm. He asked, "Do you know what this is?" And the other said, "I think it's a head." Enough, man. You don't have to keep going if I hurt you. Hell no. I started telling you, and I'll make it to the end. You want to know why I followed you to the surface? Well, here's the reason. Oh, God. Lan pauses, exhales, and continues in a steadier voice. It turned out this time my mom was expecting triplets. The first of the babies was born in pieces, and the 2 others didn't live long enough to draw their first breath. About 3 weeks later, my father took me to the caves. He didn't want to leave. I could see it in his face, but I think Mom and he decided it together. The curse my people have carried since the first crusade stood between them, not to mention the 4 dead babies. And old age was rapidly taking its toll on my father. After we returned to the cave, he only lived another 4 years. So if you're asking me why I decided to go to the surface with you and join the Crusaders, well, the answer is I've always wanted to. I was afraid to leave my tribe, but it's always haunted me that I'd die in a world where 4 crusades could do nothing to stop the beast from the abyss, and the number of victims kept going up. I want to change that, or at least try to. And if changing thing is too much to ask, then at least they'll get a little revenge. The ones who are behind the world wound owes me a great debt. The lives of my 4 brothers and all my mother's tears and my father's broken heart. It's a lot. It's so much that killing a couple demons wouldn't do it for me. I want to do something real, and I'm ready to pay any price. Call it my personal crusade if you like. He gives you a slanted grin. I used to think that things would be better if I'd never been born, but now I think I was born for this, to settle the score. Holy crap, dude. I love Lan. Lan is just the best. Your parents' love didn't survive the hardship, but that doesn't mean that the same will happen to you. I'm not gonna pop that. Would you like to find your mother? No. The word flies from Lan's mouth faster than an arrow. Then he pauses. He continues. I don't want to meet her. Not because I feel any resentment. It's just that she's a half-elf. She barely got her first gray hair, and I'll be a ramshackle old man. She's buried enough children. There's no need to make her witness the death of another one. I hope you understand. This too. Why didn't you go and join the Crusades before? I can't just abandon my tribe. I'm the best hunter. They'll have it much harder without me. But now that all the demons have nearly destroyed Canabras, and the caves almost collapsed on our heads, sitting and waiting it out wasn't an option anymore. Anyways, I'm more useful up here than I am down there. Plus, the chief let me go, which means my debt to the tribe has been repaid. I am very truly sorry. Lance smiles, this time sadly. Well, then I'm very lucky. I met someone who not only helped me choose the right path, but is happy to even listen to my whining. I guess we'll pop this because I can. Your parents didn't survive the hardship, but that doesn't mean the same thing has to happen to you, bro. What if you find true love, someone who won't leave you no matter what? And break my beloved's heart when I die in their arms 5 years later? That's a fine thing to do to a person you love. Then again, there's a chance I'll inspire some tragic bard to write a tearful ballad. Thank you for sharing. Mongols have short lifespans, but you don't look like you're getting older or dying. How old are you? I'm as old as I look, but no surprises there. But remember Sol? He's 10 years older than me. I remember him back when he was a fearless warrior, and day by day I watched him turn into an old man. Him and my father. It happens very quickly. First you miss a shot because you don't see your target as clearly as you used to. You think it's because your eyes are tired. You tell yourself you'd be better tomorrow. Then you notice you're having trouble breathing, and climbing is harder than before. Lan clenches and unclenches his human fist. Your fingers stop bending. You have to tie your sword to your hand, and you can't even put on greaves without help. When you're washing your face in the stream, sometimes you catch a sight of a gray-haired, wrinkled old man you don't even recognize. And this goes on until one day, you come across a cave beast, and you realize you can't outrun it. Lan takes a deep breath. My dad kept diaries, marking all the signs, and I saw it too. The last year I had to help him out of bed, help him dress, remind him to eat. Sometimes he forgot my name. I told him that we should have stayed on the surface, and he joked about dodging a goddess dodging a goddess was behavior unworthy of a crusader. He meant for Rasma. Every day I wake up and check on how I feel, but there are no signs yet. Even so, I don't know. I know I don't have much time. I need to do something before I forget why I came here. I want to talk about Windowag. Are you sure? All right. Tell me about your connection to Windowag. My connection to Windowag. I mean, where do I start? Lan turns his unresponsive reptilian half of his face to you. We grew up together, trained together. She was the chief's daughter. She was groomed to be the best of all her life, and then I came along. We were rivals, but we dragged each other out of tight spots too. I'd always been drawn to grand heroic gestures, sometimes idiotic ones, whereas Windu liked to roam unexplored passages, finding new caves and making maps. She wanted to be a great huntress, the one who'd make it through the shield maze, but instead she... Lan shakes his head. It'd be better if she just died. The death of a friend is painful, but watching a friend become a shadow of their former selves is unbearable. She doesn't think she's a shadow of her former self. Of course, she thinks she did everything right, because the second she starts to doubt herself, she'll have to face the truth, to admit that she's just a cannibal that the demons used to have used as they wish. Lan frowns almost as looks like a wince. She wants to get stronger and stronger, but for what? I'll never understand what drives her. Were you friends or just more than that? Wow, you really don't pull punches, do you? There was a time when I asked myself the same question. Windowalk knew me better than anyone. She understood me better than anyone. She was my first woman, but we never loved each other. Maybe I could have grown to love her, but it always seemed like she never understood what love was. Maybe she was just incapable of those kinds of feelings. Thank you. I found out everything I wanted to know. If you ever want to reopen any more of my old wounds, you know where to find me. So, can you wear a hat with one horn? Sure I can, but certain designs don't do me too well. Okay. I found out everything I wanted. Thank you. Oh my god, guys. Oh my, there's so much dialogue. Thank you for your answers. So long. Well, guys, that's 30 minutes of dialogue. Oh, I didn't even level up. This game has a lot of dialogue, and I'm going to be going through it all. So our playthrough is going to end up being like 500 episodes or something. And a lot of the episodes are going to be like this. So I hope you do enjoy. I want to drink some more water. Hopefully blow my nose, because I don't know if you could tell my nose is bothering me that whole time. And I'm going to get right back to it. I'm just going to keep it going. We're just going to keep it going. We're just going to be talking to everybody. And then eventually we'll leave the tavern. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.